from aboard Little Girl. Got a brand new day started here. I got 2 really good days coming. The thing that's different about this trip is we're now kind of out of the edge of winter and into more spring-like weather. We're about 40 degrees right now. It's supposed to be warming up to right around 50 today. So that's not going to be too bad. We're going to be able to get some stuff done on board without freezing our tail off. Just looking forward to making a pot of coffee here this morning. I brought one of my new stuffed corner items, and kind of looking forward to doing that a little bit later, maybe after I grab breakfast inside. Anyway, so welcome aboard, and I'm gonna get things going here and show my new shelves, which I have not put in yet. I'm gonna do it right now, and we'll see how they all work out. Okay, so here we go with our starboard shelf that was templated down here and put together and varnished, finished up in Vermont. And boy, that thing fits like a glove. Looking pretty. And that's just what we're looking for right there. And that came out great. I've already done port over here. I've been fitting this. I had to do quite a bit of fitting work. Get the light on, and you can see how that one came out. And anyway, so looking good. Really pleased with these shelves. We're going to come up with some sort of way, either netting or cabinet fronts or something to go in later. But for right now, they're in. They're done. I'm moving on. I think I may actually be starting to sand out the hull today. We're going to get this thing in the water. And my brother and I have been talking about it. And he's going to consult the harbor master and see if he can pull his boat off his mooring by the beginning of September and let me have a couple of weeks on his mooring, which would be great. But I have a feeling the harbor master is not going to go for it. So shut off the lights here. I got to go get one other thing. I'm going to go in and I'm going to work on the breast hook up in the front. Happy day. Right, here we are up in the bow. Going to work on the breast hook. I showed you this a long time ago, but you can see how with 50 years of being in existence, the wood is all worn away underneath where the chocks were. See that? You see that? How much? Okay. So this is all going to come down. Same over on this side, port and starboard. And so I brought my sanding blocks with me. I've made up some brand new sanding blocks. And I'm going to get these cleaned up, get them ready to go for some sea tall. And if the weather continues to warm through the day and right now it doesn't feel like it, I may slap some on here anyway, even if it's in the 40s. It's already in the 40s, so I think I'm going to do it. I want to get these done. I want to get at least one coat on here and preserve it. All right, we're done. Let me get after this. It's not going to be easy for me to set this up. I don't have a monopod with me to be able to hang on to my cell phone, so I'll get back to this in a minute if I get things set up to where we can do that. All right, bye. I brought my sander with me, and it would probably be a lot faster if I did that, but I don't know. Let me see. Now, this is pretty coarse grit. I think this is like 80. And I got some 60s with my rigid sander. I may go get that in a minute, depending on how long this starts taking me. It's coming down, but man, it is slow work. This teak is just so eroded away, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, I think I'm going to quit for right now, maybe go get my sander and we'll see how that goes. Well, I've been sanding on this for a while. Pretty much decided I'm not going to try to take these all the way down where the chocks were. You know, the problem is it is so scooped out and everything. I don't want to, you know, if I took it all the way down, it's just going to be eaten away huge at the amount of meat that's in this breast hook, and I don't want it to look, you know, kind of weird. So anyway, what I've done, I've sanded this out. Underneath this one, there was literally some teak rot, and I got most of that out of there. I plan to bed these anyway very thoroughly before doing anything to them, which means it probably won't get Cetal on today. Anyway, the other part of this is that there's a crack here. This is not original, obviously. Somebody put in this bow eye, and it's almost completely impossible to get to the nut that goes on the bottom end of this. And the problem that you got is that when you put the bow eye on, it's the thing that caused the crack. That is exactly in line with where the shank of this bow eye goes down through. It was a stupid move. I don't know why they needed it. They got bow cleats here, and they've got a really good solid cleat to, you know, to go onto here. They could have done others, but I mean, the point is, at this point, I don't know, it's just a pain. I don't know if I'm going to take it out or just leave it and caulk around it. But all this has got to be done. It's one of the things about restoring an old boat. I mean, it's one thing after the other after the other, and it can get discouraging. Get to the point where you say, man, am I ever going to get this sucker done? So, but pressing on. And we're going to go see what the temperature requirements are for boat life. I still have about a half a tube of life caulk left. And if I can, I'll get that, I'll mask that off and fill up that crack. And I've been getting all the crud out of it so that there's plenty of depth there to go ahead and get some brand new caulking down in there. And then kind of go from there. Well, we're all ready to go with this. I got out the caulking. By the way, it's 51 degrees right now, so I'm not going to worry about life caulk. I think it'll manage very well. But very carefully masked off the crack and around the bow eye there. And I'm just going to caulk the daylights out of it and let everything sit and cure. Later on, we'll come back, finish out the sanding, and get some Cetal on this. But for right now, this is it. We're moving on, and what we're going to do for the rest of the day, and perhaps all day tomorrow, depending on how long it takes, is go ahead and get the start sanding out the hull. Start getting the bottom ready. I've got brand new bottom paint waiting, but that's not going on until just before we go in. But in the meantime, this thing has many decades of old bottom paint, and I've got to get to work on it. So, all right, guys, let me go ahead and do this. I'll do an after shot because I don't have a tripod or anything to set this thing up and show it while I'm working on it. Well, it looks kind of crappy, but the crack is all completely caulked. I masked it off well enough to where the only caulking that's going in is right into that seam. Right into that awful crack that was made by this stupid bow eye that somebody stuck on here. So anyway, it's done. And we just let it sit. Let it sit. Boat life caulk. And we'll see how it comes out. The beauty of it is once it's all dried up, it sands out very nicely. Peel the masking tape off, sand the seam, and let it cure a bit, and then throw some Cetal on the whole thing. I got a little more sanding to do, but I'm not going to mess with that right now while the life caulk is in the seams here. All right, guys, next project. We're moving on. You are back aboard Little Girl, and it's time for New Stuff Corner. All right, first thing, and it's kind of a biggie because it means we're going to start doing the bottom soon. Went out today and bought myself a respirator. And this is capable of handling lead paint, so I figure it should be able to handle bottom paint. Anyway, I hate these things, but my wife is insisting that I wear it if I'm going to be doing the bottom. Second thing, I was over at West Marine picking up some stainless screws, and I had been looking online. This is my main topping lift, which you saw in another one of the episodes. And I'd been looking online for a bronze clip, or cleat, whatever you call them, snap clip, to be able to go on the end of the main topping lift and that hitches onto the end of the boom. And I couldn't believe it. They had a solid bronze one, identical to the one that came off from it. And I don't know how much is, I paid $7 at West Marine. I am shocked. It's solid bronze. It has a limited lifetime warranty. I'm hanging on to the paperwork. So anyway, it looks good to me. It's a keeper as far as I'm concerned. So my main topping lift and a brand new. I'm gonna have to look up what they call that silly thing. Anyway, that's what I got. That's another thing. Also, I mentioned it this morning, and I never had time to make coffee. You kidding me? I got too much work to do around here to be making coffee. But anyway, I got myself real coffee that I can use in my drip coffee maker that goes on my little range here. Anyway, okay, that's it for a new stuff corner, and I got to get to work. I'm working on the fantail right now, the fantail trim, and I'm going to try to get a little bit done before Mom calls me in for supper, and then I'm going to keep working till dark. Good morning, guys. It's Friday, and it's supposed to be a pretty sunny day, although we're starting out somewhat cloudy and only about 35 degrees, a lot colder than it was yesterday. But just a trip down memory lane. This is what I took off the boat a long time ago, probably 2 years ago. I took this off. This is the fantail trim. And, okay, and I don't know if you remember the episode way back, but this is the new one I cut for it. And it's all sea-tolled. Sadly, I'm not going to be able to finish it this trip. I worked on this for a long time yesterday afternoon, getting ready to install it. By the way, the part of the whole doing of this is making sure I had 3 coats of sea-toll on both port and starboard tow rails back here, so that, I'm good to go with being able to bed everything properly up against that. But what's happening is this stupid screw right here is standing proud, and I have spent a long time with a rasp trying to take that metal down to where I can get this underneath here to sit down on this. And there's no way. I'm going to have to. What I'm going to have to do, as a matter of fact, I already marked it out of where I need to go ahead and cut that out. And see, it'll all be bedded anyway. But you know what? I've got brand new, well, not brand new, but extremely sharp chisels that I bought for work on the boat. As a matter of fact, I used it for cutting off bungs way back, right here. I think those 2 or 3 bungs right there those are brand new. Anyway, I used that chisel or those chisels for cutting those off. And anyway, and I forgot to bring them down here because I was using them on violin work up in Vermont. So anyway, this is going to go back to Vermont, and that's going to be cut. And I'll probably bring them back down again and just make sure that everything is proper before I go to try to bed this next time. But that's one of my projects that I was hoping to get done this trip, and it's not going to happen. After getting my caulking to my boat life all up and running again yesterday, I was hoping to finally get this thing put in place and bedded. This is where the anchor light comes, not anchor light, stern light comes up through. and I've got the stern light, and you know, it has its own little gasket and everything. That's all going to go back right here. All the wiring is already in down below here to reattach to the stern light when I get around to it. All right, so that's what we got going. That's going to go back to Vermont and get some work done on it. But in the meantime, what I did, I also brought with me, let me get back over here, also brought with me my trusty rigid sander. And well, they're down in the cabin now, but I've got a whole pack of 60 grit. And today I'm going to start off with the rudder and probably hand sand that, maybe use the sander on it. Hang on just a minute. Probably, sorry for the distraction here. There we go. Yeah, that's got, I think it's 150 that's on there now. Definitely going to have to empty this little jewel probably many times before the day is over, but that's my goal, is to get going on the bottom. I already have a brand new gallon of bottom paint, ablative, and I'm going red this time. I figure going to have remnants of the black bottom paint underneath, and so as you put red over the top of it and completely cover it, you'll know that you're getting down there when the black starts showing through. So, all right, guys, that's it for now. Just want to let you know what's coming up for the day. It's going to be a colder day, but it's supposed to be sunny all day. Once we get to about 9 or 10 o'clock, we should be good to go. And I can't begin doing that kind of sanding stuff until about 9 or 10 o'clock, because people are still going to be sleeping and so forth. So, all right, so glad to be aboard, little girl, and we got a good day coming up. Well, this is where we're starting, right here. We're gonna get going on this rudder and see how this goes. I'm looking forward to this. Finally, something that kind of says, yeah, we're gonna get this baby in the water someday. Someday, anyway. All right, so I'm gonna get going on this. I'm gonna try to set this up to where it can be watching me do this for a few minutes, and then we'll come back and do commentary later. Bye. Well, that's what I've got done so far, port side. It's not much. My brother was just over, and he said that this will work out fine. He said if you want to go radical, take it way, way down. But right now, I'm using, I've gone over to 60 grit, and it's taking it down pretty good. You can see that it originally had green underneath it, I guess, and then green, and then red, and then black, and so I'm just basically wanting to get it so there's no chipping, that everything gets down to where everything seems good and tight and smooth, and beyond that, we'll just kind of let it lay, and he said that that'll be very adequate. Well, guys, they say that there's a first time for everything, and this is my first time sanding the bottom of a boat. So messy, messy, messy. But, you know, I got a lot done, and they're about, maybe a quarter of the way through. But I'm going to wrap it up. Got a lot accomplished on this trip, and I'm just at the point where I think I want to spend some time cleaning up the boat, but I got to clean me up first, because My family doesn't even want me to come through the door, I don't think. I just touch anything and it turns black. So anyway, guys, hey, thanks for stopping by Restoring Little Girl. Hope you enjoyed this episode. It was not what I would call enjoyable, you know, to stand in the bottom of a boat, but, you know, it's all necessary if you're going to get her in the water. So, all right, guys, till next time, have a good one.